Well, I was glad to have the babies and my wife here for a little bit here at the hoop house, but today they had to go home and take a nap and get fed. It was lunchtime. They were getting very grumpy. We're going to do something a little different that I've never done before. Follow along for the progress on it, because I know that it's something that a lot of people wonder about, and we're going to take the risk for it. You can see the transformation here. I took out one row, not just I, but my wife and I, because it was a lot of work. We took out one row, we took out all the middle, and we took out all the plants that was already there. If you haven't seen my last video, make sure you check that out, because you would see the transformation here. And then we we stacked everything up back there. I know we want to use and maximize the square footage here. I believe these are 4-gallon bags, and what I have here is I have a Cafe Ole Rose. We're gonna put them right down through here, and I believe what we came out to for the conclusion of it, we're gonna have 8 rows in here. And that's gonna be pretty tight for dahlias, but I think we can fit about 450 in just this area. If you guys have had a hoop house before, you can tell me and let me know. This is a 30 by 80. Tell me if you think that's too tight or if you think that's not enough, because that's what I'm going with right now. Let's jump into it and get started. If you have not used this soil before, it's called SunGrow, but this is all recycled soil. So hopefully it's gonna do the job for us, but we're gonna add some fertilizer to it, and it's already got some perlite for us, but we're gonna add a little bit more because it's a heavier soil. You can see the roots in here, which for me, I think that's okay because it's like decaying in a way. And all of this is from hemp, industrial hemp here. So from this bag here, I've tried to give it a little bit of moisture and everything, but I have a problem with our water. We've only been in here just a few days. For the people who have watched our previous video, we've only been in here a few days, and we're having a water issue. A pretty substantial leak, if you ask me, because it'll only get more and more and more. And I don't want to have to be paying for water that we're not even really using. So like I said, I'm using this bag and I'm transferring it to over here. And I just have like I used to use this for my goats. We used to have about 20 or 25 goats. And I'm using this for putting water in and mixing it up, and then putting it over there in the bags. Some of these have mold on them, but guess what? Mold isn't gall, so I'm happy for that than anything. These ones here specifically were stored underneath of my house, and my house never got above 50 underneath of it, and it never got below freezing, so these are good. This was a clone, so you can see that the clone hadn't really developed the strong tubers quite yet, but hey, it's a cafe, and if we can get cuttings off of this, that's exactly what we want. And if you haven't yet, check out my video of where I show how to do propagation, because propagation is crucial to your business. These things are like hard as rock. Let's dump it, get some moisture in here, and put our next tuber in. So I'm gonna just trim this off here a little bit. I don't like having a ton of hanging out for old on new growth. So you can actually see the green there, it's coming up. And like I said, this is a cafe. All the tubers and the necks are gonna look different, especially depending on variety. That's one done. If I can pull these out every year and just literally rip them up out of here and be able to store them and sell them on my email list, that's the idea to do. And then I'm gonna put supports through here. I'm gonna put supports all the way down through here. Right? So if I put supports like right here, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna use yet, but I think I might be using T-post. All right. So going from a clone to actually planting it into the ground, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually planted, the tubers itself. That took me a lot of time, almost hours, probably like 2 hours to do like 30 of those. I figured I was going to get more done, and I expected a lot more of myself to do that, but hey, you live and learn, right? It's been a traumatic experience, really. I'm telling you, like, my hands have been so black, and I've been having to soak it a ton just to even get it saturated, because it's 16% humidity in here right now, and it's 106 degrees in here. I rolled up the door, and it's getting some breeze in here. I guess in the next few weeks, I'm really gonna have to get some electric in here, because I need to use that fan, and I may even have to have 2 of them right there. I don't know exactly. Tell me some of your tricks that you have when you're growing into your hoop houses or greenhouses at this point, just trying to regulate the temperatures. What kind of tricks do you have? Leave that in the comments below. I've got both sets of louvers open, bottom and the top. That has really helped, and it's cooled it down in here quite a bit. We're probably at the hottest part of the day, so if I can learn how to control that, then I'll be good to go. My goal is 500 of these pots. I haven't got that far. I'm only at like 30. If it helps me save time in the long run in the fall, so I can just rip these up and make my idea is to put RPCs down, the black totes that people put for like tulips and things. I'm thinking about ranunculus and anemones. Right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually going to walk over here for just a quick second because I did, however, learn something. That's a reservoir up there that I was telling you guys the other day. Behind me, look, over there, up there, it's a reservoir. It's like a 1,200 gallon reservoir. What I think I'm going to do with that reservoir is I'm going to mix all my mixtures in there for like a fertilizer injector almost. And so I think that'll really help because it's like it has the agitator on the bottom of it just from pressured water coming in. So that would be really cool if I can get that going. I will water every one of these and fertilize every one of these all through that up there. And with the excess water that I've been using from trying to mix up this stuff, which has been a nightmare, I just literally been putting in this. If I can do it slowly day by day, maybe I won't have to work so much each time to get that at a higher content of moisture. And then I'm gonna use all these bags, but these white bags, let me see, if I pick it up, look at that. They don't have good quality. It's not great. But the black ones are a lot better. You can pick that up just like that. So that's awesome. I'll be ready to have my truck back. Marin and the kids are gonna come get me in the next few hours. And this is the last thing that I really wanna tell you. For the people watching, this is like a personal note and a personal level. We're a one income household from Cut Flowers. We also have one vehicle. We're also renting every spot that we have. If that doesn't put it in perspective for you to show that you can actually be a flower farmer and make a decent profit at it, I don't know what does. It's the fact of fear over matter, what you can allow yourself to do. I know you somehow have to be an extrovert in some similarities, but you can do this as an introvert or an extrovert. And I want to encourage the person out there today that it entirely is possible to do this. How many people would be actually interested if I could break down specs and worksheets and things like that for you, just to show that it is possible? I'm glad you guys have taken the time to sit down with me today and to learn about this plastic bag theory that I have, to see if it's even going to work. And honestly, maybe even let me be your guinea pig in this situation, because they are cheaper. And I know plastic's not always the best thing, but when it's sitting right in front of you and that's what you have to use, reuse it. We don't always have to go out and buy the next best thing or the prettiest thing, just things that are efficient. Use it. As always, thanks for watching The Flower Guy, and let's grow beautiful things together.